They give me any information. This isn't the information for this.
Ma'am, on the left.
Oh, there. I didn't see this. Thank you for being more awake than me. So let's fill this in. I'm so sorry. Here we go. The business made a direct deposit. The bank charged us a service fee for this. And that would be on the 17th. Now, how do I know where's the 17th? I look here. You see? So we made a direct deposit of 7960. Yes? You can't see. I'm sorry.
And you don't have an extra paper.
Yes, is we went to the bank and we deposited the sales or whatever money I received today. I went to the bank and I deposited into the bank account. There's no other way for me to do it. And now they charge me 78 Rand. Okay? So after this transaction, I'm going to say 15 plus 7 gives me 15 plus 7 gives me. Okay? So you're going to say 15 plus 7960 gives me
23852.
less 78 gives me
23774.
now I go look. Our monthly stop order of 5,000. So here it goes. 5,000. You don't have to put the minus and the plus, but it helps, ne? Because now I'm going to say 23 less 5, and it's going to give me
18774.
Okay. If I had to do this in the CPJ, what would be my sundry account detail? If I pay an installment on a vehicle, what would be my... Let's quickly think. Let's quickly think. Listen to me. I buy a vehicle, which in normal English means I buy a car. Right? So I buy a car. Do I buy it cash? No, because they say I pay installments. So I go to the bank, I sign a stock order. Every month 5,000 Rand goes from my bank into VW Motors. Okay? Now, what is it going to be? What? Creditors control. It's going to be creditors control. Why? Because I owe them. So in my books, I would have VW Motors, the total of what I owe for the car, 100,000, and every month 5,000 goes off. So I'm paying my creditor every month. Okay. If they said it's a deposit on the vehicle that I buy, what would my details be then? Not creditors, but vehicles. You can write vehicles, but would it be wrong to write creditors? No, because there's different ways you can show it in your book. You can show in your book you paid 20,000 deposit, then it would be vehicles and bank, ne? And then you show the rest you buy on credit, ne? Let's say then 80,000 vehicles and creditors, and then the 80,000 you pay off installments. Or you can show the full 100,000 as vehicles, 100,000 as creditors. You pay 20,000 on that 100,000 you owe, and then 55555. You get the difference. It both would be right. Let's go on, and you are not paying attention. Bought stationery from Zoom banks and paid with our credit card. Will this go in here? Will that transaction influence this bank statement? if I say to you, I bought stationery from Zoom and paid with our credit card, is the credit card part of my check account? No, I will have a separate bank statement for my credit card. So is anything going to go in here? No. Is the credit card levy going to go in here? No. So this would be 0 and this would be 0. Okay. But let's pretend that this is wrong and we make it a debit card. Let's change it to a debit card. Would it go in here now?
No.
Yes, because a debit card, guys, a debit card is linked with a savings account or a check account. You can decide which one it's linked with.
Oh, man,
That's why when you go and you buy, they say check or savings. You see? So a check account is linked with a debit card. Right. Now the transaction goes in. Okay, less 200, less 7. So this is going to be 18,574, 18,567. Next one. Received a EFT payment. That receive means now it's a plus. Okay, in settlement of the account, 5,000. So 5,000 goes there. Now it's 23,567. Next, the business made a direct deposit. Can you see again? The word direct just means that it goes straight into the bank. Okay? So direct deposit means end of the day, I take all the cash I received for sales and services rendered. I go to the bank. I deposit it into the bank account. But it's most now direct. I do it. Here's me. There's the bank. Okay. And that's going to give me 4,760 and charges 36. So how much is this now?
28327.
28327. And this is going to be 28291. And can you see now it's a credit balance. So now it's favorable and it's current. I quickly want to ask you, there's still one thing I need to change with the wording here, because I changed something here. What do you think I will change here? The credit card levy. It's going to become a debit card levy. Did you know that every time you swipe your debit card, they charge you? Serious. And that is why a lot of people would take a package deal at a bank, meaning they will say, every month I pay 200 Rand, and then that includes, because for every debit order you pay a fee, for every stock order you pay a fee, for every, literally everything they do for you, you pay a fee. That's how they make their money, or it's one of the ways.
Everything, the cash send, everything they charge.
And did you also know that your bank charges is more if you do a direct deposit in the bank at a teller than going to an ATM at the outside and making a direct deposit? It's cheaper. Why?
Because the worker's doing all the calculation.
That's it. I don't need to pay a salary to the ATM. When I get an accounting equation, the first thing I do is I say plus, minus, minus, plus, minus, plus. The second thing I do is I write my rules. What's my rules? Number 1, CRJ bank debit. Number 2, CPJ bank credit. DJ Debtors control, debit. CJ, who can think what's CJ? CJ, creditors control, credit. I want you to see this. Can you see every time I do sales or I do something that's going to earn me an income, the place I put the income is here, debit. Every time I buy or do something on credit, it's on the credit side. Can you see there the method? Okay. My fifth rule is sales. Sales has got a little pattern. So it will always be either bank or debtors control, depending. Sales plus 0. Cost of sales, trading stock, minus 0. And you have to know this. This is going to make your life way easier. Okay. So, let's go to question 1. Question 1. I know it's onderste bo. It says cash sales. The moment they say cash sales, I know it's going to be bank sales plus 0. Cost of sales, and don't say cost. Cost of sales, trading stock, you can abbreviate like this, minus 0. Okay? Now, I know when I see cash sales, when I see it's cash sales, I know my document is CRR. Okay? And it would be a CRJ. Don't get confused with the journal and the document. A lot of times you swap it, and then you get no marks. So what I'm saying to you, your journals, is these things. Your journals is the CRJ, CPJ, DJ. That's your journals. Okay? Your documents. Let's quickly make a summary. Your docs is easy like this. CRJ can be bank statement, CRR, duplicate receipt. Your CPJ is always bank statement. DJ is always duplicate invoice, and CJ is always original invoice. Duplicate means I issued it. Original means I received it. Okay. Please make sure that you have that. Let me quickly explain each of these ones. The bank statement is always when the money goes directly to the bank. It doesn't go through analysis. There's no analysis. So analysis of receipts is not used. Okay? The CRR goes with my sales in the CRJ. Okay? The DREC, the duplicate receipt, is for when I use analysis of receipts. And it's not a CRR. Okay. So let's go on. So now I need to get the figures. Now to get the figures, please remember your sales, the sales line will go with the selling price, and the cost of sales will go with the cost price. Okay, so let's go look. They tell me it's 31,500 sales and the markup is 25. So it's 31,500 sales. And now I need to calculate the cost.
252.
So the cost is 31,500 times 100 over 100 plus the markup. And that gives me
25200.
okay. And you guys, this is such a beautiful thing to have right, because look, if you have to do the whole one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 marks. You have to be able to get this right, because this will give you 11. And how much does your paper count? 100, ne? It counts 100 marks. So then you already got 11%. You guys can look at me. Accounting is the paper where you can lift your marks. It's easy to get a lot of marks here. It's really easy if you put your mind to it. Go study accounting. Next one. Received 25,000. The moment I see received, I know it's a CRJ, ne?
Yes.
I received from this bank for a loan that they gave me. Now can you see they give me the interest as well? Did I receive any interest? No, because I make a loan, I have to pay interest. Do they tell me that I paid interest? No, because I only got the loan today. How does a loan work? I go to the bank, I apply for a loan. What I give in all kinds of documents, they go do their due diligence. The moment they grant me the loan, what happens? I will hear a SMS going through on my phone, and when I open it, I will see I have 25,000 in my bank. Then they deposit it into my bank immediately, and now I can spend the loan. But the moment that 25 gets into my bank account, it starts running interest. End of the month, first installment also includes interest. Okay, but now I only received the loan. Now let's go. Let's look. I know it's a CRJ. The bank did it directly, meaning did we go through analysis? No. So which one of the three is it? It's not a sales. I didn't use analysis. So what is left? Bank statement. What is my rule for CRJ? My rule says bank debit. So bank debit. What did I get? A loan. So now I look. Bank is a asset. So the 25,000 goes into assets. But you're not going to get any ticks if you don't have a sign. So let's go look. Bank is on the debit side. Assets on the debit side, plus. Now let's look at loan. If I owe money, what is that? It's a liability. So the 25 is going to go into liabilities. But without the sign, I don't get a mark. What is the sign? Work through your steps. Don't skip steps. Loan is on the credit side. Liabilities plus on the credit side, because I owe more. Can you see now owner's equity is nothing. If I pay my loan, can you see now it's just going to swap. Everything's just going to swap. Number 3. Received merchandise. What is the name for merchandise?
Trading stock.
Trading stock. Nee. On credit. Can you see now? We got stock on credit? Is it CJ or DJ?
CJ.
CJ. My second thing is we bought on credit from. So we get stock from someone. Only way for me to get stock from someone is if I bought it. Nee. So it's going to be a CJ. Nee. So I know it's a CJ. My document for CJ is original invoice. Now I go look. What's my rule for CJ? Creditors, credit. So, creditors control, credit. What did I buy? Trading stock. What is trading stock? It's an asset. It plus. See? Debit, debit. Creditors is a liability. It plus. Nothing owner's equity. How much is the amount? I go look. The amount is 1340. 1340. If they said less trading discount, I would work out the amount after the discount and I would use that new amount. Okay. So 1340 goes here. And you know, even a one-liner like this, would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you do it? Yes. Of course you can do it. If you cannot do it, you would not be in grade 9. The fact that you are sitting in this class means you can do this. And if you struggle and you can't do it, go work through the steps again. It's just that you need to put a little bit more effort in. Because this is not impossible for you. What only time it's impossible is if you don't try. Or at least get some of it right. Next one. Wake them up for me, please. Next one. We issue an invoice. What did I say about an invoice that's being issued?
DJ.
Oh, it's a DJ. Can you see the same principles apply everywhere? If I ask you to do the journals, it's the same principles to identify the journals. If I ask you to do the T accounts, it's the same principles to identify the sites. Everything works the same. Okay? So I know it's a DJ. I know it's a duplicate invoice. I know a DJ debtors is debit. I know it's a sale, so I'm going to do my whole little rhyme again. So I say, debtors control sales plus 0. Cost of sales trading stock minus 0. And I also know sales line, the whole line goes with the selling price. Cost of sales, the whole line is going to go with the cost price. So let's go look. The sales price is 720. The markup is 20. So 720 goes here. So I'm going to say 720 times 100 over 120, and that gives me my cost is how much?
600.
Can you see everything works? Next one. Next one they say, we purchased. So what's the two ways I can buy? CJ or CPJ, cash or credit. So now they say I buy stock and I pay. And because I pay, it's a CPJ. Can you see it even rhymes? And a CPJ is always a bank statement, bank credit. Can you see how easy it is to get full marks here?
Yeah.
And this is going to be trading stock. And trading stock and bank is both assets. They are both assets. So assets will plus and minus. And the amount is what?
41,000.
41. Number 6. Number 6. We pay. If I pay, there's only one journal, and it's the payments journal. Can you hear?
Yeah.
You guys? You know what's always one of the biggest things for me is if I ask, give me 2 examples of expenses, and then people would write rent income. You guys have to learn the words, to hear the words. Okay. So, I pay. So it's CPJ, bank statement, bank. And I can even go as far as to say assets will minus. Okay. So let's go look. What did we pay? We pay, now look at this. We pay transport for merchandise that's delivered to our factory. Now the moment stuff is delivered to our factory, it means we needed to pay for it, and it makes the stock more. Let me quickly explain to you. We call it in real life, we are loading the cost. Let's think. I buy a Ferrari in Italy. Okay? In Italy it costs me R1,000,000 once I've converted the euro. Okay, it costs me R1,000,000. What happens? I need to get that Ferrari in South Africa. So the road it's going to take, I have to get to a harbor. So I need to pay it to be transported. Can you see now it doesn't cost me R1,000,000 anymore? Ne? Because it's going to add. I need to put it on a boat to get to South Africa. Can you see? Now it doesn't cost me R1,000,000 anymore, it costs me more. Can you see? All of that makes the cost more. It gets to the harbor in South Africa. Now I have to pay import tax. Once it's in Cape Town, I need to get it to Pretoria. Can you see? All of that loads the price of that Ferrari. By the time it gets to Pretoria, it costs me 1.4 million. So now I want to sell it. I'm going to sell it for 2 million. Ne? Because I still need to add profit. So anything that loads the cost, I add to that which it loads. And what am I loading? Merchandise. So that transport cost is making the merchandise more expensive. And that is why I will say trading stock here, because it makes the trading stock's price more expensive. Trading stock and bank both assets, so it's going to be the same as number 5. And the price they give me is 3.6. So let's say it's the same stock. Can you see that I'm not going to say my cost price is 41,000. I'm going to say my cost price is those two together. It's 44,600. So when I calculate my profit, I'm going to calculate on 44,600, not on 41. Ne? Because I work on the total cost of this for me before I add profit. Does it make sense as an entrepreneur? Yeah, you want to get back what you put in. Number 7. Number 7. Send an invoice to Blue for goods sold to him, but now they give me both already, ne? Okay, so I send an invoice, so it's a DJ, duplicate, debtors control, sales, plus 0, cost of sales, trading stock, minus 0. Okay. You have to learn to think fast, ne? The only way to think fast is to know your stuff like this. If I wake you up at night, you have to say, DJ, duplicate invoice, debtors, sales, plus 0, cost of sales, trading stock, minus 0. And then you sleep again. That's how you have to know it. Okay? So now I know. The line with sales, the sales line is the selling price. The cost of sales line is the cost price. So let's go look. 906.75. Is it, you know, ne? And I want to ask you this. Please stop laughing and talking. Every time we do this, can you see your sales price is more than your cost price, meaning I'm making a profit? Is it possible to have a sales price lower than a cost price? Yes, it is possible, but what happens then? Am I making a profit? No, I'll be making a loss. And it is possible to make a loss, but you would rather make a small loss than just a big loss by throwing away the stock if it doesn't want to sell anymore. Okay. Can I ask you something else? And this is now for those of you who like numbers. Let's say, please listen. Can you see here I worked out my cost price? Now let's say I say to you, this is just to see if you understand the concept. I say to you, I sell, my selling price is 900, ne? I made a loss of 10%. How will I calculate my cost price? Who wants to try? Remember how we do it. I must say 900 times 100, and usually I would have said 100 plus the markup, ne? But now I don't have a mark up, I have a mark down. So I will say 100 less the mark down. So, ne? So how much would I charge then? No. Yeah. So my cost price would be 1,000. I'm making 100 rand loss. You see? Who thought of this? Who got it right? Good. I hope you take accounting. Let's go on. Next one. Number 8. Number 8. Please stop talking. We bought merchandise from Yellow for 2760. Can you please stop this? And I'm recording this, and I'm going to ask your parents to listen to this, that they can hear how many times I ask you to be quiet. We bought merchandise for 2760. But can you see a part of it we pay cash? Meaning the other part, 1760, we buy on credit. So we're going to have two transactions here, a split transaction. The one part is going to be CPJ, and the other part is going to be CJ. So CPJ, bank statement, trading stock, bank, plus minus 1,000, 00. The other one is going to be an original invoice, still trading stock on the debit side, but now it's going to be creditors control. Assets and liabilities will plus. Okay, are we happy?
Yes.
Number 9. Number 9. We received an EFT from Pink because she bought goods from us. Can you see? This is a debtor. So if we receive a EFT, we receive cash, it's a CRJ. So a CRJ, but I receive it as a EFT. So meaning I'm not going to use analysis. So it's going to be bank statement. And bank will be debit. Debtors control will be credit. Plus minus, because both is assets. And they say what she bought on the 4th